I had oral surgery yesterday. Actually, I got out. I got about home about 6:30. I had absolutely a horrible time because really the main person that used to take me around had died. So that is the main problem with my transportation problem. So it's not like I could like we had an argument or something. They was sick for a very long time. But the new person that sort of takes me, well, they're 80, and I think they now just caught on that, you know, I never, that anyway, they got sick too. So anyway, so I really don't have anybody, so it's a pain in the ass. Um, But what I was looking at Ferguson and they were showing this video and Ferguson and like the cops were like, see, we're proving that the guy actually shot first. But the only problem is to me they proved that they really it's got a problem with the cameras and they're going to prove that even with evidence because the people dispersed first. That guy happened to come out of the middle of a crowd after everybody was running. There's no audio, right? So I can assume the only reason why like I ever been in a crowd like that and everybody made a hole in the middle and dispersed like that because somebody was shooting. So it looked like the shooting first. He came out in the middle of the hole. Matter of fact, he just happened to have a gun and he started shooting. So I say that like right now I think that the Ferguson policemen are just trying to show the federal government that hey that they don't have to worry about constitutional or civil rights and that they're shitting on it and that they might think they got the Republicans or somebody because Republicans are acting real shitty with our president of the United States and all racist and shit. Just like the police are just going overboard to show their racism, and you know, it just so like any argument that you might have against them being racist, every day with their actions trying to show you that we are racist. They have some white sick-looking what do you call those people that they have these like they have these rifles. They're all chummy with the cops are saying they're there to help the black person. I think it was those white whatever they was, Ku Klux Klans, but they're probably with the Brotherhood of Policemen because you notice the height and the bulk of them, it's like maybe like in the early '80s they dabbled with a little steroids, the type of bulk that they have. Probably why they have a little hostility like they do, probably for the steroids. And if they was taking any of the psych medicine that was popular, like figure meds, that has a lot to do with the turning people hostile, suicidal, homicidal. So, like Seroquel and human hormones. There's a whole melody of drugs that cocaine, crystal meth, alcohol, has a tendency to if the person already has an evil, psychotic, homicidal or suicidal tendencies that that it shows. It's like the police come out as psychopaths, homicidal psychopaths with no respect for the United States Constitution or the civil rights. And the only thing they could go on is by saying, "Oh well, this is my history." We're looking at your history. Your history is a long history of a murdering, warmonger, uh, stealing. We can look at your old movies when we brought you in the 20s with your Al Capone and your other criminal elements, which you're teaching your kids all about Bunny and what are those gunfighters, like glorifying them, Jesse James and all them, the Robin Hood. So their heroes has always been thieves, yeah, steal from the poor and give, right? Steal from the rich and give to the poor. And they was the ones that was poor, so there was, so they glorified the thieving, the murdering, even like when you watch the westerns, the cowboys are just being a murderer. So they come from a long line of warmongers, murderers, um, rapists, and people that spread syphilis and other sexually transmitted diseases throughout the world. Um, not only that, but chickenpox, tuberculosis, and all these other things they introduced to the Indians, along with the syphilis, gonorrhea, trichomosis, modern day AIDS and Ebola. Um, And at the same time, this type of thinking has caused global warming to where our carbon is such at a high rate that we have rivers that are turned to like some type of mucky looking yellow squash soup that's running through the area that's filled with all type of toxins and is not only harmful to all animal life. And humans better believe you're part of it. If you don't think you're an animal and you're part of this world, then you're probably a very ignorant ass racist walking around with a machine gun. So I say again, what they want to do with those white people walking around with their open and carry, with the same type of body, and you can notice a little bit with the head, they have a little extended forehead, like the brow region, with the eyes a little sunken a little bit. The facial gets a little bit like sort of the same. But you could tell by the bulk that instead of like the men like in the 30s and 40s, like if you ever look at some of the 40 movies of the men in the army, they take off the shirt. They did not work out to where they have extended breasts, male breasts. They have the male breasts, and sometimes that is because boys start doing drugs or smoking before puberty, or getting or working out the wrong way before puberty. So, um, so I still say that the only thing that you can do with Ferguson black folks is because they are hell bent on having a racial riot. The white police there, they don't belong in their area. They are the reason why like Detroit looks like that because of that type of police mining. So the only thing before everybody ends up in jail and the cities are empty anyway, I say evacuate. I say exit that city. Like the cartoon says, stage right or stage left, either way. And I would try to go like if you want to go, if you have a little extra money, go for broke, go to Hawaii, go to Puerto Rico. You can still get your benefits in some of these places that are like state, but they're still Commonwealth. Like some places in the Philippines and places like that, you can still get your Social Security. And you might have better skills than some of the people are there. If not, there's numerous places to just go stateside and whatnot. I don't know. It might be better to go to Del Fuego in South America or someplace, or either it might be a good time to relocate in some African countries that might, be doing a little modern stuff, or either in Europe or London, you know, um, because like the police are going to get really more angry because the GOP, who they think is on their side, is getting ready to try to take away the Social Security. So by the time these guys get retirement age, they're going to probably have their Social Security eliminated. So you think they're hostile now as they project, instead of going to the real problem, real issue, they want to take it out on who they assume to be the weakest motherfucker. Now, some of us just, like me personally, uh, you know, um, I could do just as well like never seeing one in my life, because I know that they do more damage and more harm than they do good, and that's the definition of a psychopath, a psycho. So I can't really comprehend their psycho behavior. I can't understand their talk of like, oh, you playing games don't make no sense, When it's time for me to go to the grocery store and I go to the counter, I can't just start playing games. No, I gotta pay money. What I'm saying? They get away with some of this self-devastating. Well, anyway, so I say to you guys in Ferguson and Missouri, St. Louis, and all the surrounding areas, slowly but surely, just get the fuck out of there because they're making money on, the bad school situations. The money's being diverted to building more prisons, and the prisons, a lot of them is. And so like it's basically they're trying to not have black people have jobs, and then they bring in some white poor trash with these psycho racist type of double binding hypocrite sickness, you know. And these are the type of people that like the same Caucasian people that shoot up movie theaters. They have good justification for their racism, and it's just because they are an inferior race, and that's their whole fucking problem. And So they're trying to destroy America and our civil rights and our constitutional rights. And believe me, they're going to be useless to the 1% with all the money. It was like because all they want to do is have sex and have a gang together as a group of thugging ass murdering racists.